Hello everybody, and welcome back for another episode of My Chaotic Budget. My name is Sandra, and on this channel we do all things budget related as it pertains to mine and my husband's paychecks. And in this episode, I thought that I would share with you guys the way that I do my expense tracking. I have tried many different things over the past couple of years, and once I met the ledger, things changed completely. It's like everything has changed, and I feel like no matter how stressed out I get or how far behind I get, my ledger book comes back and helps me. And I want to share that with you guys because maybe it might help you too. I almost consider this like my bulletproof expense tracking. And I use this along with my highlighters, my erasable pen, and that's how I keep my spending organized and almost stress-free, to be honest. So I'm going to share that with you. Okay, so me personally, I have tried to do digital apps. They don't work for me. I tried YNAB. It's too confusing. I tried this other one that was on Dave Ramsey. It was too confusing. How do you say it? Like, I can't use those digital apps for nothing. I've tried to use an Excel sheet that I know how to use Excel, but it is just not anything for me. I need pen and paper. That's it. I'm just a pen and paper kind of girl. When it comes to that though, I was trying different ways of tracking. Like, I'm an Erin Condren girl. I love Erin Condren. I tried keeping track inside of my 7x9 planner. I tried keeping track in I tried Clever Fox. I tried the Budget by Paycheck workbook by the Budget Mom. It worked for a good while. And the only thing is that those workbooks or these planners, they're too thick. They're too big. I can't take them with me on the go. And so I would forget transactions that would happen. And then I would have to save all the receipts in my wallet. And I was like, oh, I didn't have this receipt. I forgot that receipt. I left it over there. They didn't print me a receipt. So I'd have to remember so many different things that could happen when I tried to do that. So I have all my planners and I have my little budget notebook right now, but these do not help. These are ways of organizing my time, organizing my day, but not my expenses. This, however, definitely helps me organize it. And just writing by hand compared to like digital apps is just so much better for me. It could be different for you, but for me, yes. This also can work well with the cash envelope system. I don't really use the cash envelope system as much as I used to because I found myself going back and forth to the bank too often, and it was becoming very inconvenient, and so I stopped doing that. So everything is very debit card heavy, and that's why the ledger book helps too. I love the size of this ledger book. It's similar to an A5, and it's thin. It's not a thick notebook, and I can just stick this in my purse and I carry it with me, so when things happen, I just write them down. Now, when it comes to this here, the ledger, the way that it's set up, I've used this since, of course, July of 2025, which is this year. We're not done with this year yet. But I found it to be very helpful. I'm just going to show you a blank page all the way back here. You can see every page is a ledger. They don't waste any time putting in any fluff explanation. It's just like straight to it. Here you can see how it says at the top you can put the year, but that's where I usually will put the date of when the check happens. I will put my transaction types, the date, the description. Tax, I don't really use that. What I do is I use it as an auto pay instead. So if something is automatically going to be withdrawn, and then here is where you would put the payment or debit. Over here is where you put the deposit or credit, and then the balance is right over here. So that's what I use. And I do like the fact that it changes the colors, of course, because then it makes it easier to spot. Have not gone wrong with this. Since I'm here on the back of the page, I'll go ahead and I'll kind of tell you the things that I use. So if I'm using this, as a sample, I can put here 11, 2011. I wish I was using this back in 2011, but this is just like a sample, right? So I'm here, I'm looking at this, and first and foremost, I put in INC for income. I will put the date one more time, just in case I need to, for reminder. Then I will put as far as what income came in So I put my check. In my check, I don't have to worry about that. And then I would put here exactly how much it was. And then if I had anything rolled over, so I usually write this in. So if I could find a way to have that as part of the ledger already, I mean, I would do that. And I'm pretty sure anybody who's out there who wants to make one could definitely do that. So rollover, let's say I had $20 left over from the previous paycheck. Then I would just go ahead and I would add it here. So now I have $2,020.00. Then if I needed to make a payment to any of my bills, I would put this here. I would put my bill, which if I had to pay my light bill, let's say I was paying rent, bill, I was paying my water, and then I have, let's say, a subscription. That would be a bill as well. I don't separate or isolate what type of bills they are, whether they're a fixed expense or variable expense, or if it's a subscription. I just put them all together because it's easier for me. The less highlighters I have to use, the better. The ones that I'm using already, that's enough for me to handle. So I would put all of my bills, and let's say that I have a subscription, let's say Netflix. Okay, so then I'd go here, and then I'd start entering. I'd enter what my debits are here. So I say, okay, I had to pay my light bill. My light bill was $200. I had to pay my rent. That was $700. I had to pay my water. That was $80. I had to pay Netflix. That was $40 because prices be going up, right? Once I paid all my bills, then I could come in here and I go to my ledger and I say, okay, my balance was $20.20. I had to pay my rent. I had to pay my light, and that was $200. So now my balance is $18.20. I had to pay my rent, so I take that out, and then that's $11.20. I had to pay my water, that's $10.40. I had to pay my Netflix, and that was $40. So now that means I have $1,000. Oops, sorry. So now that means I have $1,000 left to play with after I've paid my bills. So like, let's say that's the minimum. That's the minimum of my bills. I have $1,000 to play with. Great. Let's say that I'd like to take out some sinking funds, or I do a cash withdrawal. Then I have that under a certain tag. Let's say that I wanted to move money into my high yield savings account, and I wanted to put $100 in there. Okay, well, now I only have $900 left in my ledger. Then I go in and I say, you know what? I want to have some cash on hand as well. So I'm going to go ahead and put that as a cash withdrawal, but I'm making that as part of where I'm using it instead of using my debit card, right? So I'm going to put here emergency cash, and I'm going to say I'm taking out $100 for that too. Now I'm left with $800, and I get to see this. I get to see exactly what I have. Then I say, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go buy some groceries. I go to the store. I go to Walmart. Now let's say Walmart, I end up spending $250 on groceries. Okay. I'd end up spending $200.50 because that's what this little column is for change. You don't have to put the decimal because that's how it gets split up. So now I'm at 800. I need to take away the 250 with 50 cents. Okay, well now I'm at 549.50. Okay, 549.50. What do I need to next? Okay, next I plan to go dining out. Okay, so for, let's say, I go ahead and I eat out at Taco Bell, and my meal came out to $12.30. Well, then I take away the $12.30. That's $537.20. So now what do I have? Oh, I need to put gas in my vehicle. Well, now that's most important for me. So I'm going to go back to Walmart and I'm going to fill up my tank, and I'm going to put $40. Oh, I went over by 1 penny. Don't you hate when that happens? Okay, now I go ahead and I say, now I'm at $497.19. And the last thing is spending, my spending category. Let's say I went to Office Depot. I found some folders, some pens, some little knickknacks that I wanted, and my total came out to $23.24. Then I go in here and I take that out, and I have $473.95. Now, if I am doing all of this in the same day, I am only going to check off the things that have cleared. And that's what this little check mark is here. So then I go in and I say, oh, okay, well, you know what? My check already cleared. It's already showing in the account. My light bill, they take out automatically. I'm checking this with my fake bank account, right? So I go in, I check it. I say, okay, that's cleared. The rent, they haven't cleared that yet, so I can't take that out yet. The water has cleared. Netflix, that's an automatic payment, so I'm not going to take that out just yet because it hasn't cleared, because that's going to go out a little bit later. The high yield savings account, it has not cleared yet because that takes about 3 days. Okay, I don't see it yet. Yes, I did the cash withdrawal. That did show. Walmart, it's not showing yet. Taco Bell's not showing yet. The gas is showing. And the Office Depot already came out. So then I put the check marks. So if I go into my bank account and I know that I had 2020, right? But the only ones that have cleared, are now showing me that this is what I have in my account. But technically, that's not what I have available. What I have available is $473.95. That's why it's important to see it this way, because this would give you false hope that you have more money than you really do. And you need to wait, and you need to constantly be checking to see if things clear. That's why if it doesn't have a check mark, that means it hasn't cleared the bank yet, and I need to make sure that I'm checking on a regular basis that it has cleared. So now let's say it's the end of the day. I'm ready to sit down. I check everything in my account. Okay, I wrote all of this stuff down while I was out. Now that I'm home, I can go ahead and I can come back to my highlighters. So now I'm here. I have my highlighters at home. It's the end of the day, and I can say, okay, let me go ahead and check everything off because I'm not going to spend anything else today. I'm good to go. So I'm going to go for my bills. I have a particular color for my bills, and I'm going to highlight all of the bills that I have. Now I've done all of that, so now I can be able to spot where my bills are within my ledger, and I can do it, and it's easy to see. Then I say, okay, I had my sinking funds and my cash withdrawal. That is a particular color as well. That way I can go ahead and check and see how much money am I putting or pulling out for these either in cash or to my high yield savings account. Then I check and see, what else did I do today? Okay, yes, I bought groceries. I went ahead and I got some food at Taco Bell because it was a busy day paying all the bills and doing all that stuff. I had to fill up my vehicle because I was driving around and I was on empty. And then I had to do some spending because I wanted to treat myself because it was payday. Boom. Now I know how much money I have. I wait for things to clear. Here comes the next day. All right, here I am. The next day comes around. I have my notebook. I'm out and about. I go to eat because it's a busy work day. I didn't take a meal with me. So the next day, it's the 12th. So I'm over here. I went dining out. Let's say that I went to fancy restaurant. And I ended up spending $16.23. Okay, but I also put a tip. And I'm going to put the tip here because guess what? When you put a tip at a restaurant, it doesn't show automatically. So I need to make sure that when I write it in my ledger, I'm also including the tip. Okay, I go out and about. Okay, oh, you know what? I needed to buy something while I was out. Okay, what did I need? I had to go back to Office Depot because I forgot that I needed highlighters for work. Oh my goodness. So I had to spend $6.95 to buy those highlighters because my school didn't provide it for me, let's just say. Okay, then I got hit by another bill that I forgot. And I'm going to put here, forgot a subscription, right? Because that happens. Which, let's say it's Apple. And it's $2.99 because this happens to me. Oh my God, I forgot I need to take that. Okay, Then let's say, oh, I share this account with somebody else, with my husband, and he went dining out and he tells me, yeah, I went ahead, I went to go eat. I went out to Vaqueros. Okay. He went to the restaurant and he ended up spending $13.80. I say, did you put anything down for a tip? Yeah, I did. I put $2. Okay. Says changes it to $15.80. All right. End of the day, we're good to go. I'm at home. All right. How did the day go? Did it clear? Have things cleared? The only thing that shows that cleared is Office Depot. Okay. Oh, but then I see that the rent finally came out. My high yield savings account, it still hasn't cleared, but the Walmart visit cleared and Taco Bell cleared. Very good. Okay, so now let me go back in. Let me highlight. I have my dining out because dining out is a particular color. So now I'm going to go in and I'm going to highlight those. Then I say, oh, okay, I have my spending. Okay, and then I had that unexpected pesky bill that came out because I forgot about it. All right, let's go in and let's see how much money we have. So $4.73 was where I ended the day before. We have the meal at the fancy restaurant, and that left us with $455.72. We went to Office Depot during our lunch because we had to go and get those pesky highlighters that we forgot. We also forgot about this bill, so we need to take that out. $445.78. And then my husband, of course, went to his restaurant, $15.80. Okay, so this is where we're at. Now, sometimes when it comes to these, I'll have to remind myself here, and I'm just going to put two tip, because remember, we put $2 here for tip and we put $2 here for tip. These are not going to show automatically into our checking account. So I go back in and I say, okay, what is it that's showing on my bank account? When I go and I log in, it's going to show me this. And this is what it'll show me. It'll show me that I have $583.92 in my account, but it doesn't add up to what I have here. So this is why I also use Post-its. I'll use Post-its and I'll say, okay, this is what I do at night. In bank, it says I have $583.92. But on paper, I see that I have $429.98. I'll come back in and I'll say, I need to know what hasn't cleared for $153.94. So I'll go back and I'll say, okay, well, Netflix hasn't cleared yet. Okay. Then I'll see, okay, you know what? The high yield savings account for $100 hasn't cleared yet. Okay, what else hasn't cleared? Well, I don't know. Let me check and see about this tips, right? So I'll go in and then I'll say, okay, I know the $40 hasn't cleared. I know the $100 hasn't cleared. $13.94. Oh, that's right. The forgotten subscription was $2.99. I haven't put that in yet. So let me put here, forgot. All right. Now I need to find $10.95. What did I forget? Oh, I forgot that I had already taken out the $6.95. So the $6.95 was there, and now I'm just missing $4. Boom. Tip for $4. And we had also forgotten that we already had taken out the $6.95, but everything is good to go. Boom. And that's how I clear it. And I'm like, all right, we're good to go for the next day. And then you just keep doing that and keep doing that. And that's how I do it every day. Every day. I check out my routine. And then when it's time to close out my paycheck, I go ahead and I just total everything that I have. I total it up. I say, how much money did we have coming in? How many bills did we have? How much did we put towards savings and sinking funds or cash withdrawals? How much do we spend in groceries, dining out, gas, and spending? I see what that totals out to, and then I see what our rollover was for the next paycheck. So that's how you use it. This is how I use my expense tracking system. A ledger, highlighters, and that's basically it. I mean, erasable pen helps. If you don't like erasable pens, then you got to have a lot of whiteout, because sometimes we make mistakes and you just have to be ready to fix them. But yeah, that's what I do. I hope this helps you guys. I hope just seeing kind of like a sample here, which I'm going to write up here so that way I don't confuse myself and say, did I time travel? I did not time travel. That's a sample, so that way you guys can kind of see my thought process when it comes to using a ledger. Alright guys, if you like this kind of content, make sure that you subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and leave me a comment down below. I'll see you all in the next one. Bye!